Alright, welcome back to another episode of Peter Says You Shits. Today we're going to learn how to season and cook a steak. First thing you're going to do is salt your steak. This is a lot harder on camera. I'm going to do these two off camera, but you're going to want to add pepper and garlic powder. I also recommend onion powder too, but I don't got any. The steak is already salted, by the way. And by the way, season from a height. That way, the distribution between the seasoning can be more even. Totally even. You're also going to want to spread your seasoning. The reason why I'm doing this is because so I can distribute. Yeah, distribute. Now, I hope you got your pan smoking hot because you're going to want to turn that down. Now, steak in the pan. I have a thin cut steak, but so it's going to be like a minute or two. That's pretty much well done, but it's going to take like a minute. Or until this thing forms a crust. Once this thing forms a crust, you're good. Make sure you clean your cutting board or whatever you're using. Clean your area, please. It's a necessity. It's sometimes something I also fail at. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, it's forming a crust. You gotta flip it now. It's splashing liquid everywhere. Oh, look how beautiful it is. That's a lot of liquid. By the way, I turned the heat off because it's pretty much done cooking now. Right now, I'm just letting this puppy rest in the frying pan right now. I'm also gonna attempt to make some mac and cheese because I'm hungry and I want steak, but I also want pasta. I like both. Look at all them juices right there. Look how beautiful that looks. But keep this on a low heat or a lower heat. You don't want to keep cooking the steak. You want this butter to melt till it starts foaming. Once the butter starts foaming, you push your steak to the side of the pan, pretty much like right here. Tilt your pan like this. Grab a spoon and start basting. Also move the butter around so it can heat up a lot faster and melt quicker. See how it's starting to foam up? Usually on YouTube you'd see it all bubbly and all that fancy stuff, but you know what we do here? Tilt the pan like this. That's good enough actually. I've seen this on YouTube. Never mind, that's good enough. Now it's gonna be a bit harder to show this on camera. But shoot. But what you're gonna wanna do is tilt your pan like this. Your steak is right here. Tossing. You're tossing. Gordon Ramsay could potentially see this because some people could tag him in it. I don't know. I'm not that popular at all. But you're going to want to toss and baste your steak. And this is harder with one hand. Oh, crap. With one hand if I was to do this on camera and show you guys properly. But you're going to want to keep basting your steak. Basting your steak. Baste it in that butter. You should add aromatics, by the way, like garlic and thyme, or any aromatics that you like. I don't have any, so, or I don't think I have any, so I'm just using plain old butter, and the butter browned, by the way, but that's all right, as long as I'm basting it, putting that flavor in that steak, that's good for me. I don't even know how long I did that for. Now what you're going to want to do is take your steak out. Ah, fuck. Excuse my language, but take your steak out. Leave it on a wire rack preferably, but let this thing rest. Despite the fact that it may be done cooking on the outside, it's not done on the inside. And this is a thinner cut steak, so I did overcook it to people's liking and probably to my liking too, but it's good enough to me. Let it rest, you piece of shits. My bad, y'all. Typically, when you're cooking the steak, right? You don't want to leave this alone. In other words, I mean, you're gonna want to wash this. I have a lot of things to wash too, but you're gonna want to wash this. That's not what we're doing today. You know why? Because I had water heating up, but this burner is weak. So I'm gonna put this pot of water right here. Turn up the heat. Put the pan right here. You know why? We're gonna save this steak juice, all this flavor in here, because I'm making mac and cheese. Now, when you're making pasta, always salt the water before starting to boil the water. Though, it is true that water will easily start to boil faster whenever there's no salt in it. Salt the water. Or it's just even better, let it boil, let it start boiling, put salt in it, then put your pasta in. Now, typically, you want it on a rolling boil, and it's not yet boiling to that point yet, but I'm still gonna add salt either way, because flavor. Now you're just gonna want to let this start boiling, put your pasta in, and cook the pasta until it's al dente. Rolling boil, check. Pasta in. Ow. Good reminder, don't ever use plastic utensils. These will melt easily, but I'm just using it because it's the only quickest thing I can find on hand. But stir your pasta. You don't want your pasta to just sit there. You want the salt to evenly be distributed to the pasta. You don't want your pasta tasting salty. Once you're done with that, just let the pasta boil until al dente. Good reminder, if you don't know what that looks like, the pasta is supposed to look translucent or transparent, somewhat transparent. That's when you know the pasta's done. Or you could just take a piece out, eat it, see if it's good to your liking, and if it needs more time, just leave it in there to cook for a few more minutes or so. If you get something like this, if your pasta comes in something like this little fancy thing, the instructions are right here. And for me, it says it will take to 9 or 11 minutes for it to be fully done. So that's how long it will take. All right, it's been about 11 minutes and the pasta looks ready. You know what? I'm gonna also stir it just to see how it feels. It feels ready. It feels done. So once it's done, kill the heat. Kill the heat. If you want to, save some pasta water, but we're not gonna need that right now. You're gonna typically save pasta water if you're making a different dish. But to stir it around one more time, just so nothing sticks to the bottom of this pot. But the pasta's all done. It's what you want. Now, you're gonna want to take your pasta, bring it to the sink with the pot. Have a strainer if you have one. Hopefully you do. Have some kind of strainer. Pour the pasta into here and have some cold water on. Make sure your water's on the cold setting. The reason why is I actually don't remember that now that I think about it. Now, swap your pan and your pot. Bring your pan back to the burner that's stronger. But if both your burners are just as good, keep them the way you had them before. Now, turn the heat back on. I put it to medium because I don't want this butter to start cooking and browning. Even worse, I don't want this butter to burn. Well, all this flavor to burn. The reason why I'm saying butter is because there's still some butter in here. You don't want this to burn. You want it to start heating up and foaming. Preferably, you should do this on a lower heat, not medium heat. By the way, I'm gonna make something called a roux, which is just butter and flour mixed into a pan. I have my flour right here. Once it starts foaming up, that's when I'm gonna put the flour in. Also, and to make mac and cheese, you typically want some kind of cream. 100% heavy cream. I don't have any, nor do I know where any of it is, so I'm gonna use milk. Is it a good alternative? Kind of. Is it a preferred alternative? No. You're also gonna want some cheese, and if you're broke, use that already shredded cheese. But if you're like my auntie and like spending money with this fancy cheese right here inside this plastic bag, I'm gonna cut like maybe a tad bit of a block of this. By the way, it's not preferred that you use shredded cheese because of what they put, any of the additives they put in already shredded cheese. It's better if you buy a block of cheese and shred it up yourself, because it's more of the natural cheese itself than just buying the shredded cheese. But like I said, if you're broke, shredded cheese is fine. Spoiler alert, I burnt it. No matter though, take a little bit of flour. You don't want that much. Just put it in here. It'll be okay. Trust me, it'll be fine. And take something, stir it around. You want this, it's already thickened enough, and I put enough flour in here. Matter of fact, I put the perfect amount of flour in here. Goodness, this is a good amount of flour. No lie, I'll just add a little bit more. Just a tad bit, not too much. Ow. Once it's thickened up like this, you're gonna wanna grab your milk. The reason why I'm saying milk is because that's all I have. I don't have any heavy cream. For all the visual learners out there, you don't want too much. Just enough. You want just enough. Let this emulsify and thicken. Which I put the heat on high so it can go faster, but that didn't go well. This is the reason why you want heavy cream. And you don't want it to clump up like this. I messed up. You want it to be very liquidy and consistent. You want a very liquid consistency. You don't want something so clumpy. So that's why I'm adding as much milk as I need, so I don't overdo it, but I also don't underdo it. Just like how I did just now. By the way, I've had the heat off this whole time because that's how hot the pan got. See, you wanted something like this. This is the perfect consistency, and this is how you want it. You don't want it liquidy or clumpy. You want it this, I would say a tad bit more liquidy, but about right here is good. I just added a little bit more so it can be a bit more runny. I turned the heat up a tad bit to about medium-low, so that way I can get the milk liquid to simmer a bit as well, even though it doesn't really need it. Just get that whatever milkiness or whatever liquid water is in here to just evaporate or simmer out. And the next thing I'm gonna do, I shredded up some cheese. Yes, it's very clumpy because it's like weird cheese, but you're gonna want to put cheese in. You're gonna want all that cheese in. Hold on. Now just mix it until it's fully emulsified. Mix all that around. Mix it good. Please do. This looks freaking disgusting, actually. This does not look appetizing at all. What the heck am I creating? Now, put your pasta in. Once it's fully incorporated, put your pasta in and start mixing it. You know what? This may not look appetizing to you guys, but it looks a lot better in person, actually, in my opinion. This actually looks a lot better than I thought it would come out. One thing for sure, don't use this cheese. Don't use this Britain cheese, man. Don't ask why my auntie gets this stuff. She's weird. Oh yeah, by the way, one ingredient I forgot to say to add. Mustard. I don't know why, it adds something. Come on, mustard. Come on. You got it. Come on, mustard. You got it. Come on. I don't know why mustard adds something to it. I added too much mustard because it tastes like it. That's alright. So before I eat this, guys, like my other two Peter Says videos, there's usually a message whenever I do these. And the message is, don't gossip. And it's something that I struggle with too. Gossiping can hurt people, it can hurt you, it can hurt everybody around you, even your own parents. I hurt my mom doing that. The message is, just don't gossip, guys. Please, just don't gossip. You'll hurt yourself and hurt everybody around you. Anyways, I'm gonna eat this. You guys have a blessed day.